Hello and happy Homebrew Wednesday, everyone. I hope you guys have had a great week. I've had a pretty good week myself. Tonight, I'd like to go ahead and start off with the SJPorr ST005 US, the Southern Hemisphere Rye IPA. When SJ shipped me over the US beers for the competition, he also included a few of his beers as well. So this is one of his. This is, I believe, his entry in the SJPorr challenge. As you can see, before I crack it open, the bottle is crystal clear. Down here in the basement right now in the brewery, it's a nice warm 12 degrees Celsius, so perfect temperature for this, I think. It's got a bit of a sediment just sort of swirling about the bottom because I have been playing with it a little bit. But just want to show you it's clear before I get it into the glass. And then, yeah, let's give it a taste. Let's get this pour here. Time for good, really good carbonation. Slow down. Alright. Whoa! Stop right there. Take the best of it. Wow. Look at that. I can smell that. I haven't even had it near my nose. I can smell it. Man. Oh, man. That's such a nice smelling IPA. Wow. Floral, tropical fruities. Tropical fruities. Tropical fruit. Oh, man. Die down so I can taste you. That's pretty good. You see the carbonation in there. I'm going to keep showing that to you because that's phenomenal looking. That is just phenomenal. Wow. So I get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, sir. Thank you very much. Cheers. Appreciate it. Let's give this a whirl. Mmm. That's aged very well. I get like a hint, or there's like tangerine, and there's dankness in there, and those tropical fruits, and the malt sweetness, solid malt sweetness backbone on that one. Light medium mouthfeel. Yeah, totally digging this. This is very nice. Oh, it's been a while since I had a good IPA. Rye IPA. I would say medium. Good medium mouthfeel on that. Just nice and slick. Oh man. Fruity. Alright. So for this Homebrew Wednesday, the SJPorr Challenge beers have shipped. Most of them. The Canadian beers have not yet arrived, so so I've sent up the 9 beers that I had up to Dan Smith, #2 place winner of the EU leg of the SJPorr Challenge. So we can start to rate those beers whenever we're ready. So I know that they are sitting in his post office box as of today. Last night actually, so he could have picked them up today. Maybe he'll pick them up tomorrow. I haven't really checked this evening. Yeah, so really looking forward to getting down into those SJPorrs. Maybe I'll start this weekend when Technician's Brewery is here. That would be pretty cool. Be able to share it with somebody. Let's see. I still got the 2 beers or 3 beers in the fermenters. So the Smash, the Centennial Maris Otter Smashes, those are both still in primary. I need to dry hop those. Same thing with the Arrogant Bastard Ale. That's still in the primary, and I'm gonna dry hop it. Gonna probably put in 2 ounces of Chinook there. I'll probably put in 2 ounces of each of the in the Centennial. So yeah, that's what's going on brew wise. I also see the box behind me. I picked up some bottles, corks, what do you call them? Cappers for the Belgian quad, the Westy 12 clone. So this is basically just my test bottle that I did. So I'll be putting them in these bottles. So I got about 6 gallons of that to bottle up. I'll go ahead and show you a quick little clip of that here. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put all of it here inside these Belgian bottles with the corks and the cages. So I think that'll be a real nice touch. And they'll sit in these bottles for about, I'll start off tasting it 6 months, but for a majority of them, they're going to stay in there at least a year. So yeah. Interesting thing about that is I've never did this before, and it's actually for carbonation. So I am going to bottle condition these. But what I need to do is actually create a 400 milliliter or a 500 milliliter, half a liter starter, put in a vial of the West Molly yeast, which is basically WLP 530, I believe. And so it'll be a half a liter yeast starter with the West Molly yeast. I'll let that go for about 24 hours, and then I'm basically going to put that into a bottling bucket, pass off all of the quad into the bottling bucket, give it a good mix without trying to aerate it. So it's going to be lots of CO2 spreading on top of that throughout the entire process, and just trying to get it really mixed up. And then once it's really blended really good, then it's to put it into the bottles and then just let them set for 6 months to a year or more, and then I'll crack into them and start giving them a whirl. But yeah, I've never done the whole re-yeast beer to bottle condition something like this. So I've read this on byo.com, from Brew Your Own magazine, one of their articles, and their advice was basically take a vial or a packet of yeast, create a starter with it up to 400 milliliters, and let that go for about 24 hours, and then after that mix that in with your bottling bucket and give it a good stir without introducing oxygen. And yeah, just bottle it and go. So definitely scared. Scared about doing that. So if anybody out there that's watching this has ever done that before, tell me if that's the right way to do it. If you've got any other suggestions about better ways to do it, then please let me know. I would really like some more advice on this one. The other alternative is if I create a 400 milliliter starter, then basically I could take a syringe, like you use with the liquid hops, the hop extracts, and then taking a syringe of how much I'm going to use, so 400 milliliters divided by the 6 gallons that I have, circa 6 gallons, and then go ahead and just decide how much of it I'm actually going to put into each bottle, and do it manually, and then just rack in straight from the secondary that I have it in now. That way that would be minimal air introduced into the beer, and I'm definitely considering that. But I'm worried about the yeast sort of chunking up at the bottom of whatever it is I put it in while I'm taking it out, so I'll have to get a really good mix each time I fill up the syringe, and then go ahead and put it into all the bottles evenly. And then also to make sure that I get the right CO2, the right priming sugar in each one of those as well. So that'll probably go maybe into solution, or go ahead and do the syringe type deal as well. So that will hopefully work out. Yeah. So that's the decision I need to make soon, because I'm already about 2 weeks overdue of the 3-month period of actually lagering the quad. So yeah, if it goes 4 months, big deal. It's fine. There's nothing hurting the beer, just sitting there. It's aging, it's fine, so I can get to it anytime. But yeah, I definitely got to pay attention. I'm going to map out exactly how I'm going to do it, and then just do it. So hopefully that'll be coming up in a future Homebrew Wednesday. So the kombucha that I had is going really good. I can go ahead and put a video of that here. First 2 weeks, I put the SCOBY into a jar, like a pickling jar, a 1 liter jar, and let that ferment up 1 liter of tea. I used black tea on that. And after 2 weeks, it should be fully fermented. And then what I did was upgrade that. So I used 1 liter as a starter, and then added that to a 5 liter bigger jar. So now that's upstairs and fermenting away. You know, obviously it's got a nice cover on it. You can see it. So you saw it. So yeah, things are going really good there. I did get a pretty good whiff of it when I was transferring it over into the 5 liter vessel, and yeah, it smelled pretty good. It was right along the lines of what I was expecting, so really looking forward to giving that a whirl in a couple weeks. So this week I was also privileged enough to get beer mail from Lermo22. So let me go ahead and show you that. He sent me up a few beers. He sent me up his. He sent me up a cherry limeade. He sent me up his vanilla bourbon porter, and he also sent me up the Driveway Troll, which I believe is the New Zealand black IPA that they made at SJPorr just a couple months ago. So really looking forward to crack into that one. Speaking about black IPAs, I was trying to decide what it was that Technician Brewery and I were going to make this weekend. Because he's coming over, he's going to spend the weekend here, and we're going to make up a brew. And I've been sort of itching to brew up another black IPA. The first one I ever did was the Stone Sublimely Self-Righteous clone. And that turned out great. Really like the Chinook dankness that I get from those hops. And then I've been really sort of itching and wanting to do the Firestone Walker one as well, the Wookie Jack. So I'm setting my sights on the Wookie Jack clone, and that's what we're going to brew up this weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In the brew house, I did an interview with 2 guys in the last month or so. Look for it coming up pretty soon. Hopefully this weekend we'll post up the interview with Uncle Jonah, and that's pretty good. I mean, Uncle Jonah is a great guy, right down to earth. I mean, what you see is what you get. And I had a really good talk with him, and I want to share that with everybody. So that's coming up in the brew house. I also did one with Aunt Rogerson. So shortly thereafter, Uncle Jonah's, Aunt Rogerson's will come out and see what we had to talk about in terms of brewing. So that's it, guys. That's all I've got going on this week. I hope that you are having a hell of a homebrew week. I hope you guys are having a hell of a homebrew Wednesday. Have a hell of a week. Have a better weekend. Cheers.